And a lot of the same rules apply. 59.5 is the normal distribution age. Anything before that, it's probably going to be penalized. And the last one, the last source of income during your retirement, everybody probably knows about it. It's your Social Security. This is sort of questionable in recent years. A lot of people think it might not even be around in 10 or 15 or 20 years, and probably certainly not when I'm ready to retire. In order to receive these retirement insurance benefits, is what they're called, there's three things that have to be met. You need to be at least 62 years of age in the month that you're applying for the benefits. You need to be fully insured under the Social Security system. This basically means you have to have enough years of work being credited to your account, and also you actually have to apply for the benefits. Sometimes it'll do it automatically, but not in all cases. So you really need to make sure that you applied for the benefits when you want to receive them. Normal retirement age now, if you're born after 1960, is age 67. So for me, unless they might change it, I'll have to be 67 before I can experience these full benefits. It actually goes down the older you are. If you're born before 1938, you can 65 is the normal age. So anywhere between there, it's a little bit of a sliding scale there. And if you do retire before your normal retirement age, your benefits are going to be sort of prorated. You're not going to receive the full benefits if you retire before age 67 if you're born after 1960 in most cases. So you sort of have to be careful. Even though you're eligible for the benefits at age 62, you may not want to take them because they're not going to be as substantial as they would be as if you were age 67. And also another interesting note, the average benefit people are receiving on a monthly basis that are eligible for Social Security, these retirement benefits through Social Security, in January 2010 was $1,166.30. So if you multiply that by 12 and you ask yourself, hey, am I going to be able to live off of this? Probably not. So that's why these other methods of retirement are very important. Another question a lot of people ask is, how much money do I actually need to have saved in order to retire off of comfortably? It's kind of a difficult question because everybody spends their money a little different. Everybody saves a little different. But generally, a good rule of thumb is about 80% of your pre-retirement income. So if you're ready to retire and the year before you're making $50,000, you're going to figure you're going to need $40,000 for every year that you're in retirement. So, and also people that say, well, how long do I know I'm going to live? And nobody ever really knows that for sure. I mean, at least I don't think so. So, but a good starting place is to say 25 years. So sort of based on this model, you can anticipate that your retirement expenses are going to be about $1 million total. And unless you have it all in the Roth IRA, you have to account for taxes as well. So it's actually going to be slightly more than $1 million as showing in your accounts. So you just have to watch out for that as well. There's also a few things you need to remember when you're investing in these retirement products. One of the most important things you can do, and I can't really stress this enough, is to start saving early. When you start saving early, the compound interest, which is sort of interest on top of interest, it builds up a lot faster, and the time is really on your side. Here's a little example. So if you start saving $100 a year at age 25, you stop putting money into it at age 40. By the time you're 65, you're going to have $34,425 in that account. And that's only putting $1,500 towards the total. And that's assuming a rate of return at 10%, which is a pretty normal rate of return. On the other hand, if you waited until you were 40 years old and you put in $100 a year for 25 years until you were 65, the total amount of money you're going to have in that account is $9,835. And it's a really big difference. So it really does pay to sort of start as soon as possible for this retirement savings. A few other things you want to think about is when you're saving for retirement is just the strategy of your investments. Generally, the younger you are, the more aggressive your investment accounts want to be. You want to be invested more in stocks as opposed to high quality bonds. It'll give you a better rate of return, but at the same time it's going to expose you to more risk. That's not necessarily a bad thing when you're young because you'll have time to rebound from a down market like we had at the end of 2008. On the other hand, if if you the year before you retired, you're in all the way in stocks, and the year like 2008 happens, and you could lose half of the money you planned on saving for retirement in that one year, and you don't really have time to make that up. So it's best to become more conservative as you become older and sort of limit the amount of risk that you're exposed to in these later years, because you really are trying to preserve that wealth you build up throughout your life. Another important thing is to diversify your investments. You don't want to ever put all your eggs in one basket. Luckily for most of us, it's pretty easy if we have a 401k plan. They offer a lot of different choices that are already diversified for us. Like I mentioned, they usually specify or concentrate on stocks or bonds or money market mutual funds. It really depends, but you really need to find out what mix works best for you. For an IRA that's directed by yourself, you might think it's a little harder to diversify, but that's not exactly true, because there's a lot of different products out there now, like ETFs that invest in index funds. Basically, you're going to be tracking the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, and it's going to be diversified already for you. So if you just purchase that, you'll be pretty well diversified in its own with just purchasing one product within that account. And one other thing you have to watch out for is excessive fees with these accounts. Especially the mutual funds that you're investing in through your 401k plans. A lot of the time in the fine print, it'll say the expense ratios are very high. So you sort of want to stay away from those unless it's something that you really can't get anywhere else and you really want. Well, that's about it for today. I went over a lot of the basics. There's still a lot more you need to know if you really want to do well, but hopefully this little bit gets you started and gets you thinking about it, and maybe it'll even help you save a little better for retirement. You guys were great, great students, so I want to thank you for that. And if everybody just hangs out for a minute, I'm going to give you a little post-quiz, sort of like the pre-quiz, just to see if you guys learned anything here. And also a survey that you can kind of give me a little feedback of how I did. So thanks again, and if anybody has any questions, I'll be around for a little bit, and I'll try my best to help you out. Thank you very much.